Kal Kadosh, how are you? I wanted to share with you a beautiful, inspirational idea, which I think we could all try to capture during these moments that we are still in lockdown. There was once a story that happened during the Holocaust. In the corner of the shabby hut, there was a group of inmates. They were in the Buchenwald camp. The Germans, Yimach Shemam v'Zichram, they came and they wanted to disinfect them. So how do they disinfect and clean or cleanse these Jews? They put spicy material which actually burnt their cracked skin. And they were trying to clean them, to purify them, or to sanitize them, what we say nowadays. Even though their bodies were broken, their souls were firm. And that was all due thanks to the righteous genius of Gedal Eisner. He was constantly encouraging them with words and giving them strength and comfort. Rav Gidal once saw the face of a young bachur, a young lad, that he was very pale. And he went and he told, his name was Shmuel Frida. And he told this bachur, he told him, listen, I know what you're worried about now. You're worried about your shidduch, about your matchmaking, about your partner, your soulmate. The bachur was astonished. He was thinking, how does this rabbi know what I'm even thinking about? So he started laughing. He says, Rabbi, are you kidding with me? Are you joking with me? You think this is what I'm thinking about? The rabbi didn't even pay attention. And the rabbi comes and he comforted him. He told him, you should know that Bezrat Hashem, the war will be over. And Bezrat Hashem also, you'll be able to get married under the chuppah. And what are you worried about? That there's not going to be rolls, there's not going to be bread for your wedding. There's going to be bread, there's going to be everything. You're not going to kill out all the bakers. And what, the musicians, music, you're going to have all the music that you want. You don't have to worry about it. And children, you'll have many children. You'll even have this desire for money, for parnasah, because you'll make it. Says this bachur, every word the rabbi actually said to me was fulfilled. But there was something even much more important than what he did. He lifted my spirit. We were already on the verge of despair, and all of a sudden now, I regained the desire to live. I regained the desire to, as if to say, to continue with life. Why is this so important? We see from this week's parasha. It says in the parasha, "V'chiyamuch achicha," if your brother is going to start becoming desolate, becoming poor, umata yado imach v'chezakta bo, you have to strengthen his hands. What does that mean? That means that sometimes it could happen that people are having financial difficulties and they're on the verge of to be destroyed, to fall. And now it's incumbent upon us. Says Rashi, v'chezakta bo. What does it mean to strengthen him, to help him out? Al tanichehu sheyered v'yipol. Don't let him fall. Why? Because once he falls, it's difficult to get him back up. However, what are we supposed to do? Strengthen him at the time when he's falling so he doesn't fall. What is it compared to, says Rashi, to a chamor? When you have a very heavy burden on a chamor, on a donkey. He says as long as it's still on the donkey, help him around with the burden in order that he doesn't fall. Even one person could help him out. He says once the donkey falls down, he says sometimes not even 5 people could come and pick him up and take him off the ground. This is such an important message, right? Why? Because there's a beautiful Rambam. The Rambam says in Ilchot Matanot and Aniyim, when he's talking about giving tzedakah, there's 8 different levels of tzedakah. 8 completely different levels, one after another on tzedakah, and each one is the highest level. He says, Ma'ala gedola she'lemala mimena, says the Rambam, the highest level of tzedakah is the machzik biyad Yisrael shemach, is somebody that's going to strengthen his hand. He's going to help another Jew, and he's going to give him, whether it could be either it's going to be a present, or it's going to be give him a loan, or he's going to make with him a partnership, or he's going to give him a job. In all of these cases, it's v'chzakta bo. You're strengthening his hands. The Chayimon, he's actually living with you. Which means some people come and they say, you know what? It's very easy. Why? Because the majority of us, it's actually against all logic. The majority of us, we have compassion for a poor person. He's penniless. He's got nothing. So give him tzedakah. He would say, no. The highest form of tzedakah is helping him before he falls. When he still has this dignity that he doesn't feel that he's receiving tzedakah. He says, Baruch Hashem, they're helping me out. Now I could continue working. He doesn't want to receive tzedakah. He wants to work for it. He wants to feel like a human being. But again, says the Rambam, this help is the highest form of tzedakah. The highest form, because we're helping him out before he actually falls. However, though, we think to ourselves, okay, but it's not only just the way what we're giving, it's how we are doing it. Why is it how we are doing it? We say in Avot Rabbi Natan, and we also read in Pirkei Avot, V'avet kol ha'adam b'sever panim yafot, right? We have to receive every single person with a nice face. What does that mean? It means that you could come and you could give. Says the Avot Rabbi Natan, and this is what he's adding on the Pirkei Avot. You could give to a person all the presents in the world. But if you're going to give it to him with a sad face, as if to say, okay, you're just giving it to him, it's as if you didn't give him anything. However, though, if you're going to receive your friend with besever panim yafot, with a happy face, with compassion, with encouragement, even if you didn't give him anything, it's as if you gave him all the presents in the world. Now, what does that mean? How could it be that if a person right now needs money, he comes to me and I can't give him money? So I come and I give him words of encouragement, or I give him, right, I give him attention, I give him this care, I give him something, and all of a sudden, I give him everything. How does that mean? Right now he needs money. What does it help to give him something else? That doesn't solve his problem. And the Yisod is actually the Gemara Masechah B'Batra. Listen to this Gemara. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, says Rabbi Yitzchak, anybody that gives money to a poor person, he gets 6 berachot. He gets 6 different blessings. However, though, if you're going to appease a person, if you're going to give them comfort, encouragement, you get 11 blessings. Now, it's actually interesting that the Tosafot brings down that if you do both, what happens if you give the tzedakah and you also gave him words of encouragement and attention and this affection that you gave to the person? All of a sudden you get 17 because you get both together. The Maharal Miprag explains this in Netivot Olam and Netivat Tzedakah Perek Daled. Why is this? Why is it that by encouraging a poor person, you get more reward than the person you give him tzedakah? You could come and write him a big fat check of $100,000 and you don't get the same bracha as if you didn't give him anything, but you gave him encouragement. You gave him words. Obviously, it is brought down that if you are able to give him the money and you don't, and you just give him words of encouragement, then you don't get those brachot. But let's say you're not the financial situation to give, but you still give the encouragement, now you get those brachot. However, though, what exactly is going on? Explains the Maharal, the reason why is because money is only for now. It will only help him for the moment. However, though, when you come and you encourage him, you give him comfort, you give him the attention, you give him this, what happens? You give him life. You give him something completely even much more. And therefore, because of that, it's much more important. You get 11 berachot, and you don't get the 6 berachot that we mentioned before. Rabbi Avraham Yafen in his Sefer Musar V'Dat explains this something interesting, and he says like this. He says, more important, the most important tool or element that you could give to a human being is their optimism, is their ambition, their aspiration, their tikvah, their yearning, that they're able to do something. He says, as long as he has that in him, he can overcome any type of depression, he could overcome any type of things that befall upon him. And therefore, it is so important that that's why the Gemara says that a person comes, that's even more than Maharal Miprag. Maharal Miprag he's explaining it even better that what's going on is that it's not only just that you're giving him life, and therefore it's much longer and it will last longer than the money that will go quick. It's more than that. You're giving him the optimistic, you're giving him the life, and the fact that now he looks at life differently. He's able to become even much better. And therefore it's so important of what he's doing. Because now, even though in his situation, he's down because he's asking for tzedakah, he doesn't like to be dependent upon other people, right? But when you come and you show him how important the person is, how much you appreciate, every single human being wants to be appreciated. He wants to feel like a human being. When you come and you give him that attention that he's yearning for, because as a poor person, he doesn't get attention. Usually he only gets negative attention. And he feels so down. And you make him feel like a human being, that is a vechzaktabo. And now it comes to ourselves. Why? Every single one of us, we are rich. We're millionaires. Why? Because we all have the smile. We all have the time and the affection and the attention that we could give to a human being. So therefore, even if a person financially cannot come, or they're not affluent and they don't have the possibilities to come and to give to someone else, we can give to every single human being. And that's why it says that Gemilut Chasadim Chesed is not only with money. Tzedakah is with money. A chesed could be done with our bodies. Chesed could be done with everything that we have. We don't need to come and write the $1 billion checks if we don't have it. We could do something even more important. Give the people the attention that they need, that they're craving for. Give the people that they're yearning for that, for this type of appreciation. Appreciate them. Show you that they are valuable. Show you that they're priceless. They're the most important people in the world. Show them how great they are. But that's the importance of what we're supposed to understand. Because only in that way we will be able to succeed. This Rabbi Eisner showed this Bachur that even though he was in the midst of the worst, of the bottom of the pit, imagine in the middle of a Holocaust, in the camps, working, he's worried about his shidduch. He comes and he gives him hope. He comes in and he gives him ambition. He comes and gives him words of encouragement. That don't worry, we will get out of this lockdown. We will get out of this depression. We'll be getting out of these financial problems that everyone's going through. But Be'ezrat Hashem, that's only if we come and we actually achieve something higher. What is the higher achievement? Even if it's not going to be money, it's actually going to be giving the beracha. Giving the beracha is we become a source of blessing when we give blessings to others. We become a source of blessings when they look at us and they see the smiles on our faces, how happy we were to see them, how enjoyable it was to be with them, their time. That's what everybody needs. But that's what we actually have to have. I actually saw a beautiful thought that when it says that if a person is going to combine the 6 blessings of giving the tzedakah with the 11 blessings of encouraging the poor person or encouraging the person and giving them what they need, it becomes 17. The numerical value of 17 is tov. We actually receive all the good in the world, the best in the world, when we come and we actually fulfill this. But it all depends how we're doing it. Those that we can support other people and help other people, so then Be'ezrat Hashem, that's what we must do. But even if we can't, then it all depends, do we fulfill the next one, which we actually get even more reward. We get 11 blessings for encouraging other people, helping other people, giving them the good word, giving them this enthusiasm, ambition to continue going. I once heard a story, I think it was Rabbi Krohn or Rabbi Frand, one of the two, they said a beautiful story. They said what happened is that there was a woman, she was going to get gas. And she gets to a gas station, and it wasn't one of these gas stations that it's, do it yourself, it's full service. So, okay. So there's a person that comes, he starts filling up the gas, and she realizes that he was a midget. He was a small person. And while he's filling up the gas, he comes and he looks at a picture that's in her windshield. And he says to her, wow, do you know this person? So she looks at him and she says, of course, this was my father. So he says, wow. But she says, yes, but he actually passed away. And he started crying. And she looks at him and said, I don't understand. Did you know him? He says, did I know your father? He says, I'm going to tell you who your father was. Your father, every single time he used to come and he used to fill up gas here, when he used to come, he always gave me encouragement about how it was that instead of me just collecting money from the government because of my situation or my capabilities, I actually went out to work and I was making a good living the proper way. He says, you should know your father made me feel tall. Your father gave me everything. And she started crying, and then she realized what it was. We could be that person. We could be that rabbi that gave the encouragement to every single human being, making them feel precious. And especially, and now, it starts at home. Chesed always starts at home. How does it start at home? Whether it is to our spouse, whether it is to our children, whether it is to our friends or people in our community that we know that maybe they feel lonely. So even if because of social distancing that we can't actually be with them, call them up, show your support, ask them if they need anything. If they can't go out, will I help them go get something for them? But encourage them. Bezrat Hashem, hopefully this will be over and it'll be over soon. And we'll soon also understand why Hashem did this. Because right now we don't understand. There are beautiful things that we actually have now that maybe we didn't have. Now we have more time, whether it's with the family, with the house, with everyone, with our children. We are growing. Maybe there's more time to think, less pressures. But it's a beautiful time. Let's utilize it. Let's make it the best. Let's make the tov out of it. Let's see the good. Odula Hashem ki tov. Thank Hashem. But how many good things there are around us. And Be'ezrat Hashem, when we actually have this positive energy and this attitude that we could give to everybody and to ourselves, we can encourage everyone. Be'ezrat Hashem will also be able to have Mashiach Tzidkenu Yom Imenu Amen. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu should say, Dai letzarotenu, that he should say already it's enough with all our sufferings. We should be able to go out of this exile, come back to our Bate Knesiot, Bate Midrashot, to see each other, to realize what it is, the importance of whether it is community, friendship, being all together, and Ishet Reu Yomar Chazak, to strengthen ourselves. And with this, actually, we finish, whether the Ashkenazim say Chazak, Chazak v'nitchazek after this week's parasha, or we say Chizku v'yametz levavchem kol ha'miyachalim la'Hashem, that Be'ezrat Hashem, we will strengthen ourselves and strengthen each other. Be'ezrat Hashem, Shabbat Shalom. We should all have an enjoyable Shabbat. We miss you all. And Kol Tov.